Rancid, mayonnaise, and snake. Joe Cook. You know, Wheeler's boy. Von Sale's brother. It was Joe who joined me on an equestrian outing one spring day in a long-ago memory. Joe was one of the brave few who would ride the crazy horses we kept on the farm. Sometimes the cotton boy Ronnie would ride, and if Danny Holt had not been nearly killed by one, he would have joined me more often. It was a pleasant ride to Webb Landing on the Escambia River, peaceful and quiet except for the muffled sounds of unshod ungulates. In those days, I must have had better ears. I can remember hearing birds voice the timeless notes of springtime. I can remember the sound of a rain crow announcing a drop in barometric pressure. The sounds of nature marched as an order of insects into battle with the stilled air. My olfactory senses were better then, too. The smell of honeysuckle in bloom would shout its ownership of the surrounding atmosphere, bay leaves there, cypress here, and newly plowed ground. Fresh earth turned hours before to this day leaves my senses refreshed. As Joe and I rode, we unconsciously tuned in to a natural world that would record itself in the deepest parts of our young memories. Time invested this way provides a lifetime library of sensory perception. Joe spotted the snake first. He had the vision of an eagle. He did not have to wear glasses. I did. Besides, my glasses were perpetually dirty. They still are. It was a very unusual snake. Neither of us had ever seen one like it. Only its tail was exposed, hanging out over the drainage ditch beside the sandy dirt road. It was black, with longitudinal red stripes extending the length of its body. The reptile was rotund, and yet it was long. It stretched almost 5 feet. I found an appropriately long stick as quickly as I could dismount and thrash the bushes on the road opposite the reptilian prize. Then I cornered the animal for capture. A little pressure on its neck and I picked it up. The eyes were round. It was not a viper. Obviously, it was not a coral snake because of its coloration. As amateur herpetologists, we knew immediately it was not a venomous snake. I patiently introduced the nervous, wide-eyed horses to the cool, round-eyed snake, and soon we were on our way again. I held the snake in one hand, the other hand free to control the horse. Near the river we found a wide-mouthed gallon mayonnaise jar, a discard from an inconsiderate camper. We rinsed it out and used it to store our pet. With a gallon of fresh snake and the odor of stale mayonnaise, our 2-horse expedition returned to base camp. Home, civilization. With the help of a reference book, we determined that it was a member of the genus Abaster, species Erythrogrammus. The book suggested we were lucky to find it. The rainbow snake is quite shy, according to the authorities. Few people ever see one in the wild. Joe carried our valuable find home with him. He was going to build a wire cage for it. As a temporary measure, he sequestered the shy reptile in a cardboard box under his bed. But the snake disappeared overnight. It was never seen again, not in the mobile home the Cooks lived in or anywhere near it. After all, it was a shy snake. The Cooks were a nervous family for a while. I think Wheeler steered Joe to other, less controversial interests. That was the last time I rode a horse down to the Escambia River. But the sights, the smells, the sounds, and the snake made a lasting impression. From Junction, County Road, 197, Mild Adventure for the Armchair Ruralist, 1991. V.I.C. Campbell, author. The book is out of print. A PDF file is free to download at chumuckla.com. The book is out of print. A PDF file is free to download at chumuckla.com. The book is out of print. A PDF file is free to download at chumuckla.com.